With the rise of German power in Central and Eastern Europe, Stalin attempted to broker an alliance with France and Britain, but failed. Deciding that Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party would create problems for the Soviet dictator, Stalin then sought a deal with Hitler, which was signed August 23rd of 1939, 9 days before the invasion of Poland. Although officially it was a non-aggression treaty only, in an appended secret protocol, they divided all of Eastern Europe into German and Soviet spheres of influence. On the night of the signing, Stalin and German Foreign Minister Joachim von Ribbentrop offered toasts in celebration, reminiscing about past hostilities between their nations.
Moscow, August 1939, the peacetime festival in honor of the youth of Russia. This is Red Square, by the Kremlin, St. Basil's Cathedral, and Lenin's tomb. A sort of combined Labor Day and ring around the maypole. From 17 republics covering 1/6 of the earth, speaking over 100 varied languages, from athletes, folk dancers, musicians, farmers, students, young scientists, factory workers, and little Misha and his gang.
On the 1st of September 1939, German forces invaded Poland, precipitating World War II. 17 days later, the Red Army invaded eastern Poland. Soon after, the protocol was modified, allotting Germany a larger share of Poland, while ceding the majority of Lithuania to Soviet rule. By June of 1940, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, the 3 Baltic countries, were merged into the Soviet Union. Repressions and military action therein brought about the deaths of over 160,000 citizens. These gains by the Soviets were followed by an invasion of Finland, which met fierce resistance. An interim peace followed, granting the Soviet Union about 10% of Finnish territory. After the failure to invade and occupy Finland, Stalin decided to take action in bolstering the Soviet military by modifying training of new recruits and improving the propaganda efforts within the ranks. In June of 1940, Soviet forces annexed Bessarabia and northern Bukovina, which had been Romanian territory, making them a part of the Moldavian Soviet Socialist Republic. In annexing northern Bukovina, Stalin had violated the agreed limits of the secret protocol with Germany. In October of 1940, the Tripartite Pact was signed by the Axis powers, constituting Germany, Japan, and Italy. Upon learning about this new coalition, Stalin traded letters with Ribbentrop expressing the desire to enter the agreement on a permanent basis. After a conference in Berlin, Germany presented the Soviet Foreign Minister, Vyacheslav Molotov, with a proposed agreement for Axis entry. A month later, Stalin responded with a written agreement which went unanswered. Shortly thereafter, a secret directive issued by Hitler was made on the eventual invasion of the Soviet Union. Oblivious to Hitler's plans, Stalin demonstrated peaceful intentions toward Germany by signing a neutrality pact with Axis-powered Japan in April of 1941. Months prior to this, Stalin had received word through an espionage network called the Red Orchestra that Hitler was likely preparing for a Soviet invasion as construction had begun on snow landing gear for the German Junker U-52 transport aircraft. Stalin felt that if Hitler did invade, it would only be after the war with Britain had been concluded with Nazi occupation of the islands. As a consequence, he ignored the warnings from his spies and generals. This would prove to be perhaps Stalin's largest strategic blunder through the war. In the early morning of June 22, 1941, Operation Barbarossa was initiated, the code word for the German invasion of the Soviet Union. This would open an entirely new theater of the war called the Eastern Front, bringing the war towards a truly global conflict.